Welcome back to Fantasy Football by Committee, powered by Flurry Sports. It can be tough to win a fantasy league on your own, but at FFBC, we will work together to bring home the hardware. Hosted by Zach Bruner and the rest of the Flurry Sports crew, we will give top-level analysis, answer your questions, and, well, go off on other tangents.
That was after I tried to get ChatGPT to admit that 9/11 was an inside job, but it stood firm. It gave quite a few solid points that it was true.
Welcome to Fantasy Football by Committee. The show starts in 3, 2, 1.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to Flurry Sports, Fantasy Football by Committee. All of the above is true. I'm Zach Bruner. Luke Reimer is to my right. And we're back talking ball. We got actual football tonight. You know, Hall of Fame game, whatever you want to consider. All I know is Trey Lance is on the field, so I'm going to be watching Trey Lance football. We also got the Chargers playing actual people. Omari and Hampton's going to be out there. I assume Trey Harris is going to be out there. And we got Hendon Hooker for the Lions as well. So I do have some underdog picks that we will go over in a little bit before the game starts. We got breaking news coming out of Washington. We got other news around the country for a bunch of training camp stuff. But still, with all the stuff popping up, more and more people are just saying the same things over and over and over again, Luke, and that is the award-winning fantasy football draft kit comes out tomorrow. Like Terry McLaurin's like, yeah, I want to be out of here, but most of all, make sure I get this draft kit that comes out on August 1st. It's Friday, August 1st. That is tomorrow if you're watching live. You can scan the QR code at the bottom of the screen. You can go to buymeacoffee.com/Zach Bruner, ZachBrunner. If you're a member, which is one coffee per month, that's $5 per month. You get the draft kit free. You get the data files. You get the sortable files. You get all the updates throughout the entire summer, and you can get help during the season. You'll get access to the stats during the season. $5 per month is the best deal. Absolutely. That is the one I am definitely selling you on. Plus, I added more stuff to the draft kit. Luke, I lied to the people earlier in the week. I said I have a 30-page draft kit. And guess what? We actually have a 32-page draft kit.
Oh.
My bad. I'm sorry. I accidentally found 2 more pages. Is it because I can't count? Maybe. Or is it because I found 2 more pages of great insights and data? I mean, that's for you to find out if you buy it. You can also just buy the draft kit. Full transparency, a worse deal. You get less and it costs more. $10 flat fee. You're not a member. That's fine. But you can pay a $5 membership and cancel if you don't think it's worth it. I promise it's going to be worth it. So $5, scan the QR code, link in the description, or buymeacoffee.com/Zach Bruner. You can go to Fantasy Flurry on Twitter. I'll be linking it there. Tomorrow, you can buy it now. Don't waste time. You'll still get it. But tomorrow that comes out, and there's updates throughout the entire summer. So edition number 1 of the rankings comes out tomorrow. But at the very least, there will be weekly updates to those rankings. That includes a top 200. That includes positional rankings, half PPR and PPR, all kinds of good stuff. Anything else to say about the draft kit before we talk about other news, lesser news, I would say?
No, the draft kit, you get it, you won a championship.
Boom. Is what it is. And by the way, I have discounts and stuff like that in there for you if you want to save money on other things. And that includes if you are trying to convince your league, first off, you buy the draft kit, you know you're going to win a championship. That's step 1. Step 2, you convince your league mates to all pitch in for a trophy for the winner. You know, it's just going to go to you anyways. And then in the draft kit, there's a code for Trophy Smack where you can get % off trophies. There's % off sunflower seeds. There's % off tickets. Who doesn't like going to a game? And you can just use code Flurry, FLURRY, and get $20 off at SeatGeek. That's a freebie. That's also in the draft kit, though. So all kinds of good stuff. It pays for itself, truthfully. And we'll be done pitching that for now, but maybe we'll talk about it later. And for the rest of the summer, bet your ass we'll be talking about it. Let's talk about Terry McLaurin right now, though. And if anyone watching has any questions, that includes live or after the fact, comment your questions, and we'll get to it. But obviously, the biggest news right now is Terry McLaurin has requested a trade from the Commanders. Jordan Schultz reports, Adam Schefter reports.
Crazy.
Yeah, definitely crazy. I would say it's not necessarily surprising given the recent news. It sounds like they are very far apart on contract negotiations. So, if they were somewhat close and it's like, hey, I want to get out of here, and maybe it's kind of forcing Washington's hand, right? It would be Terry trying to say, hey, pay me or I'm out. Now that he's requesting a trade and everybody knows that they're very far apart, it does seem like it's hard for them to find a middle ground here. Like, I do think he actually has a legitimate chance of actually leaving town. Don't you?
I do. And it's kind of a weird situation, right? Washington's coming off if it's best season in how many years, right? It kind of looks like that they have something built here. NFC Championship appearance last year, and then having one of your guys, with some frustration regarding the front office. Kind of strange given the new ownership inbound. I agree with you, Zach. I think this is one where if there's a little smoke. I think there's a fire brewing here.
I completely agree. So that leaves me to ask, where do we think he actually could go? We have a depth chart for all teams in the draft kit as well. That's what we're looking at right now. The first team that pops into my mind, just because of his connection there, he played football at Indiana. I'm wondering if the Colts make a play, and that would work just because I think the Colts have enough younger receivers that they could send back. Like, I could see them sending Alec Pierce or sending Adonai Mitchell. I think they would keep Pittman, but I think they could send one of those younger guys. Obviously, they would have to cover the money and all of that, but that makes sense to me if they're really trying to give Anthony Richardson all the chances possible to succeed. Otherwise, I just have the teams up here. Let me know if one stands out to you. Maybe Buffalo, just because they don't have that number one.
Right. Atlanta came to my mind that would be an interesting spot.
Maybe. I don't. Maybe. I don't know. They don't have they for sure don't have the money. They have no chance.
Yeah. Right.
Because of Kirk Cousins. But I think Buffalo could, and even if they had to send somebody back, they could do that.
So Terry McLaurin is reportedly asking for $30 million a year, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
The Cincinnati Bengals absolutely fucked the wide receiver market, giving Jamar Chase $40 million a year.
Yeah, it's insane. It's stupid money. It doesn't even make sense money. So
right.
Yeah, that's dumb. Denver would be super interesting.
Oh yeah.
That would be wild. Cortland Sutton and Terry McLaurin. They could send back Troy Franklin. I don't think they would send Troy Franklin, but maybe Franklin, maybe Vele. That would be interesting. Nobody here. I don't think Houston would do it.
No. They're invested in their draft.
I don't think Vegas would do it. Chargers would be super interesting. That would give us a clear outside receiver, and they don't have to rely on Harris or Johnson. I don't think they would do that, but that would be a great landing spot for them. Otherwise, teams are kind of limited right now.
I think, yeah, they probably, like New England maybe has some wiggle room in there.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, it would certainly revive that entire receiving corps. That would be a super interesting team at that point.
Great.
Jets just got rid of Devontae Adams. Do they try to bring in another guy alongside Garrett Wilson? Maybe.
Try it again.
Pittsburgh, DK and McLaurin. That would be wild. I can't imagine they have any money left, but if they did, that would be incredible. Maybe Seattle. They got rid of DK and Lockett.
San Fran's kind of interesting too.
Yeah. Yeah. Who the hell knows about Brandon Ayuk? And then they just got some slot guys.
Juwan Jennings wants out of town or wants money. Kind of a similar situation to Terry McLaurin.
Yeah. San Fran would be super interesting. Tampa wouldn't. Obviously, Washington. Then Tennessee, I don't think would do it. So, I mean, there's a few options there. You would assume it'd be a contending team, right? A team trying to really go over the top for a
Yeah.
guy. I mean, do you view Terry McLaurin? I think everyone's going to criticize me for even asking this question, but do you view him as a clear wide receiver one for a team?
I view him as a wide receiver one, yes, not as a I hate doing the ranking thing, but not as a top 10 guy.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
mean, he's a guy who can make a catch, but I don't know if he's a guy that you can, throw the ball, have him on your team and he's gonna bail you out of spots. I mean, he hasn't done it his whole career. Um, so I don't know. He's fine. He's probably the 12 to 15 wide receiver in the league for me.
Okay. I think that's fair. I'm probably more critical of him than I know more critical of him than most people. I think he's good. Like, I don't think he's bad by any means, but yeah, I don't think he's an elite level player. I think he wants to get paid as such.
Right.
And I mean, it's hard to, again, because of Jamar Chase, like you said, because of people like Cortland Sutton, his contract that he just got, because of DK Metcalf's contract, you really don't have an argument against Terry McLaurin what he's asking for.
Right.
Does he deserve it? I don't know, but the market says he does.
Right. It just comes back to the whole idea of, and I get, it's a business, you have to look out for yourself, but just in a football sense, man, like you guys were a game away from the Super Bowl and you're gonna fuck everything up asking for $30 million.
That's so interesting too. So yeah, the other side of the thing, if Terry McLaurin is traded, all of a sudden Washington, the team that everybody wants to hitch their wagon to this season as the team that's going to skyrocket, they are the Houston Texans of 2 years ago, right? That's
Yeah.
the team everyone wants to get on. If they lose Terry McLaurin and they don't really replace him, I know before the show you said Keenan Allen, maybe they go him, maybe they go Amari Cooper. That's not replacing him, right? Like, where do they rank? Like, I think at best they're third in the division.
Yeah.
And I think they're
it,
battling with New York Giants too for fourth.
to be honest, right now, as it stands right now, they might already be third in the division.
I agree. I think Dallas is good. So, but yeah, that's all of a sudden, NFC East is always weird. They're always terrible or incredible.
Right.
So, yeah, they don't really have much wiggle room. They know they need to go now. They have a rookie quarterback, second year of a rookie deal, already playing like an MVP. This is the first time Washington, this new ownership, this new regime has faced adversity like this. It's just been like roses the entire time. You're doing everything correct. They're finally getting their feet held to the fire and they have to make a business decision. This is the time you got to go. Like, you got the rookie quarterback. You nailed it. You figured it out. Now you got to pay the superstars, your team superstars. Is McLaurin a superstar? I don't know, but he's a Washington superstar. He's one of their best players for sure.
Yeah.
And they don't really have many other people that they are dumping money into.
They're paying a lot of big money. Right.
And there really aren't any. I'm just trying to think, like, over the next year or two. Like, I don't think there's anybody who's really about to get a huge contract that I can think of.
Nobody that they have to give a huge contract to.
No, because
that's not hard to. If they didn't, that they could afford losing them.
Right. Like, Robinson's about to come up. Like, he's fine to go. Who cares? Offensively, there really isn't anybody else. Jaden Daniels obviously is a couple years away, most likely. Yeah, I don't know. If I'm Washington, you got to pay him, because if you don't, all of a sudden everyone's going to say it's same old Washington. We're fucked. We're done. They're going to see the Dallas Cowboys come to town, kick their ass. Philadelphia Eagles make the playoffs, make the Super Bowl again. New York Giants all of a sudden are wreaking havoc. Yeah.
So would you?
Yeah, you can't do it. Can't do it.
Would you rather have Terry McLaurin on a whatever the contract comes up to? Let's say it's at that firm $30 million a year mark. Would you rather have him on that or Cortland Sutton on his new deal? What was it, 4 for 92?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd rather have Sutton. I don't view them as that different of players.
Agreed. Same with me.
But I mean, numbers and everything wise, like, Again, if I'm Terry McLaurin, I'm saying I need to get paid more than this guy. And
Sure.
what it sounds like is that Washington was offering less than what Sutton was given. Like, that's how far apart it sounded like they were. So even if they negotiate, like, best case scenario, it's like $1 million more than Sutton, and that's
Right.
nowhere near where McLaurin was asking.
Right.
All I know is McLaurin needs to stick to his guns, and he can't pull a Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah, agreed. I'm all in favor for players going out and getting paid, doing their own business and getting what they deserve. But I think the side that comes along with that is like, I mean, you play to win the game, right? Are you gonna have a better chance winning with Washington right now? If you hang on to the contract for another year, or whatever, and take the franchise tag next year, are you gonna have a better chance winning with the Patriots? And you only be there 2 3 years, right? So I don't know. It's always an interesting balance to see what players do.
Yeah, grass isn't always greener. You don't know what you don't know. Like, Terry McLaurin suffered in Washington long enough, and all of a sudden he sees success as a team, and it's about money now. And again, is that right? Is that wrong? I don't know. But the timing sucks for Washington fans, for him, for the team. Yeah, it's a
He's kind of
weird
like
situation.
he's kind of been the guy there, right? That's been through like the grind at Washington, been through the bad Dan Snyder days, right? He's kind of like you and your buddies are making a band, and you finally you get a good hit, and you're looking to sign a record, and the one guy wants to leave to get more money at a different place, and fucks everything up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's exactly that. So we'll see what happens. This is happening in real time. Obviously, training camp just happened. Hall of Fame game tonight. So I would expect something to happen. We're going to get some bit of news somewhat quickly, I think.
You think so?
Yeah, like, I'm not saying necessarily a deal is done, but we're going to hear more. We're going to hear numbers specifically. We're going to hear teams who are interested. Because Washington's going to start leaking stuff, and then other teams are going to start leaking stuff about being interested. So we'll hear something soon, guaranteed. Now, speaking of that game, since we are 20 minutes away, let's talk about some of the people playing tonight, maybe some potential picks. It's going to be an interesting game, I think. Let me refresh this since we got some projections refreshing here. So on the Chargers side, I do think Trey Lance is starting. It's either Trey Lance or
Kyle Allen.
Kyle Allen's on Detroit. I think it's Ungolele. Yeah,
Or Ugalele. I'm sorry. Yes.
This loser. He's backing up Trey Lance. So Trey Lance is going to start. I'm going to guess a half. Ungolele, I think, is going to get a half. We got Kyle Allen starting here, probably going to get a half. A legit quarterback battle for quarterback 2 in Detroit. So, and probably the same, I guess, technically for the Chargers, but for Detroit, it's more serious. So I think it's going to be about half and half. Hendon Hooker, Kyle Allen. We've seen the Hall of Fame games kind of get crazy at the end. They've gone over in the points totals lately. So I think teams can start to play a little bit more loose. I think defensive players are going to be playing a lot of snaps. So I think they get tired at the end as well. So I think we could see some points, some stats. I did put in a entry earlier today with a boost. I want to know what you think. I put it in for a flex, so I could still lose one and make 8x or something. I have Trey Lance higher than 27.5 rushing yards. Easy. I have Gadsden, who I'm a big fan of, tight end, over 17.5 receiving yards for the Chargers. I have Malik Taylor, who we're both familiar with on Detroit now, over 15.5 receiving yards. And then I have Kyle Allen to throw a touchdown.
Yeah, I like the first 3 for sure. And Kyle Allen's been in the league for a while now, right? He's behind Josh Allen for a little bit. Yeah, I mean, he's got experience. I'm with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think touchdown could be iffy, right? They could get down there and just run the football. Who knows? But yeah, I have it on a flex. So if all are correct, 8.6x. If 3 are correct, 1.84x. I'll still take that.
Out of the 4 quarterbacks that are going to see the field in this game, Kyle Allen's probably the most likely to throw a touchdown. So
I would assume so. Yeah, what I did have beforehand, and I took it off because I don't want bad vibes, and I just like him. I did initially play Trey Lance over a half an interception. It did have a slight multiplier. But I was looking at his past preseason games. He had that game last year. He threw 5 interceptions in one preseason game. Not the best.
Whole game, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But then he didn't throw an interception at all after. So I'm wondering if that's kind of in his mind. They try to be a little conservative. I don't know. So I think interception's iffy.
He dominated the preseason last year in quarterback stats, if I remember right.
Yeah, I think he had a 300-yard passing game. I think he's gonna air it out a little bit. I think he hits the rushing total, the over on that pretty much every time.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
My take on Trey Lance, and I know you're a big Trey Lance guy, so tell me if I'm off base on this. I'm also a Trey Lance guy. I think he's very fun to watch. He's an awesome athlete. It kind of feels like, coming in as the number 3 pick. He's kind of gotten cycled between a couple teams now. He lands in the Chargers, vying for a quarterback 2 spot. Kind of feels like this might be one of his last real stands in the NFL, where it really feels like he could be his whole entire preseason. Really try to do as much as he can, put on a performance, show everyone why he was a number 3 pick. So I think I guess they have 4 games in Chargers. All 4 games are, I would imagine, it's probably a heavy dose of Trey Lance chucking the ball a little bit, using his legs, and not playing, the not, I don't want to call it scared football, but conservative football.
Yeah, I think so. I think he understands the moment he's in. Obviously, it's a primetime game as well. So if he has that mentality, I need to prove it. What better time than when you're the only show in town? You're kicking off the season. You're everything. So I think he could have a decent game tonight. We'll see if he crumbles under the pressure or not. But last year, despite that 5 interception game, McCarthy liked him a lot. I thought he looked pretty good. I think he's making strides in an offense that's actually, at least trying to coach him, whereas San Francisco did not try to do that whatsoever. So I think it's interesting. I think he has some decent players alongside him tonight. One of which we got Trey Harris, who's expected to play a little bit. I'm interested in that. His line is at 16.5 yards. It only takes 1 with him. So if you're taking, I wouldn't take the lower. If you're playing him, you're taking the higher, I think. The other guy, I like Gadsden, but the other guy, Keandre Lambert-Smith, this guy has been making some noise in practices lately. He could become the deep threat here. His is at 30.5 receiving yards. Again, it only takes 1. But that's someone to watch tonight. I'm super interested in him. And on Detroit side, I'm super interested to see Isaac Tesla.
Yeah, agreed.
To be completely honest, I don't know. I haven't watched enough Isaac Tesla. And he was drafted in the 3rd round. So I hope he gets a decent amount of run tonight just to see what he can be. Because if he's good, I think he could become that 3rd receiver.
I was going to say, he was probably a popular 3rd round, maybe 4th round dynasty pick in rookie drafts, right? He's a guy with good size who comes into an awesome offense. So I think, this is really kind of the time to see what he's got and put himself on the map here. So yeah, I agree with you. I'm excited to watch him.
Yeah, I think you'll be surprised at the number of names in the game tonight.
Agreed.
If you're watching it, because on top of that, Malik Taylor, he's been around a long time. He's made a lot of preseason plays. I understand that. He's got some big plays from Aaron Rodgers. He has been around. He is very experienced. He should be good. Kenny Yeboah is a good player. Brendan Rice is Jerry Rice's son. He's a decent player. So everyone knows DJ Uiagalelei. For good or bad, I wish I could pick the under on all of his stats just because it would make me feel better. Tom Kennedy's been around forever. It feels like. So yeah,
I like a good over on Tom Kennedy bets.
Honestly,
usually, he's probably been in 4 or 5, probably 5 preseasons for the Lions. I think every single time I go in, I take an over 17.5 yards or whatever he's at. Just Tom Kennedy's a cool guy.
Yeah, I think that's completely fair. I have no idea
the fun pick.
What to make of the kickers tonight. I kind of want to take the lower. It's extra points, so who knows? But it was raining there today. We've seen that field get sloppy before. I almost wonder if Detroit is let's just go for 2 every time. Let's go for it on fourth downs
So
every time, stuff like that.
my only question about that is it a situation where we know Detroit's going to be going for fourth downs? We know they're going to be going for 2 in the regular season. Do they just take all the field goals they get and not just tip their hand?
Maybe. I think they're playing with players who aren't going to be on the field anyways. I don't think they're really going to be running crazy plays. I just think run whatever. If you score, cool. If you don't, that's fine. We're not going to put our kicker out there and possibly get him hurt.
Sure.
That's what I would do. That's me.
Sure.
I don't
I'm
need
with
to
it.
simulate. I don't need to simulate the snap, the hold, the anything. Or even if you do it one time, is what it is. Boomtown has a question. What do you all suggest we do with Breece Hall this year? Let's say for a half PPR league. Are you talking a redraft? I assume. A lot of news has come out. They, I think, said today, offensive coordinator called the Jets backfield 1A, 1B with Braylon Allen, which isn't great news for Breece Hall. But, I mean, shit, Breece Hall is a good player. People forget Breece Hall is young. He's younger than RJ Harvey, who's a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
I think Breece Hall is an absolutely solid running back too with upside, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think especially too, right, with Justin Fields, right, for Justin Fields to be an effective quarterback, he has to be able to use his legs. In order for him to be able to use his legs, they probably have to get somewhat of an inside to power run game. I don't think that Breece Hall is as bad as people want to say he is. I think he's probably a little bit closer to what he was 2 years. Not that he's going to be what he was 2 years ago, a little bit closer to that than what he was last year. Like I think he gets somewhat of a dose of rushing. Like they have to be able to run the ball for Justin Fields to be at his best. So
I agree, and he'll catch the ball a ton. I think both running backs honestly will get a decent workload. So I like
also,
him. I'm not overdrafting him. I'm not reaching to draft Breece Hall, but I think he's a good player still.
also the Jets have like invested in their offensive line like each of the last 5 off seasons.
Yeah, offensive line should be perfectly fine this year. They're much better than they were last year, miles ahead of 2 years ago. So that should not be an issue. Let's go and quickly just scroll and see what's happening around training camps today. Terry McLaurin, obviously. Kevontae Turpin, this has kind of been the theme.
I love Kevontae Turpin.
I've seen this a lot. They are expecting to get him the ball quite a bit. They've seen it a lot. And if that's the case, I mean, he's just a field stretcher. McCarthy liked to use him on some trick plays and stuff, and it worked well. Get him the ball in open space. I think that works quite well, especially with George Pickens now spacing the field. Like, he's going to be huge.
Yeah, Kevontae Turpin's kind of molded out of that Cordero Patterson ilk, right?
Yeah, for the most part. He's someone, and he knows how to not get hit and stuff like that too. That's the whole thing with him. Like, he's small, he can't really take much contact, but he's super, super quick, so he's dangerous with the ball in his hands. And Luke, I would leave and come back just to refresh things. You're pretty delayed and glitchy right now. Other things that I've seen, the other big thing, I don't have it here, but out of Dallas Cowboys camp is Jaden Blue is continuing to get praise. Jaden Blue today, from there you are, Luke. From Schottenheimer,
Yeah,
obviously, Brian, you're good. Brian Schottenheimer complimented Jaden Blue even more today. Talked about how explosive he is with the ball, how quick he is with the ball. Related him to a young Darren Sproles, which is interesting because I don't necessarily disagree, but his dad, Marty Schottenheimer, obviously coached Darren Sproles, and I think Brian was on the staff as well. So, like, they've been around Darren Sproles, so relating him to Darren Sproles, who's a great player, and all of that. They've seen him up close and personal. It's not just relating one person to another person like they do in the draft process. It's someone they actually coach. So more praise coming for Jaden Blue after some criticisms early, I guess, in his off season. But I think the stock for Jaden Blue continues to spike up. Get more notes from Cowboys camp. Is Turpin the wide receiver 3? It's certainly trending that way. Christian Watson was getting work done today on the field for Green Bay Packers camp. Hit 22-mile-an-hour sprinting. He has been running quite a bit. So I think he is probably further ahead in his rehab. And once Christian Watson comes back, you do not want to own him for fantasy. But what that means is Jordan Love gets better, but pretty much everybody else gets worse for the Packers. And that receiving core is probably going to be more hands-off than anything, I would say.
It already is.
I agree. So it's just adding another player that the Packers like to it. Not going to be great. Zay Jones running with first team offense with Marvin Harrison Jr. out with knee soreness. I don't love knee soreness, but it is what it is. Audric Estime visibly popped up Broncos camp. Ignore it. Don't make anything of it. Here's Jaden Blue. I mean, here's a Jaden Blue play.
He's fast, man.
I mean, he seems quick, seems shifty. Oh, here's a highlight from Packers camp. Romeo Doubs had a nice adjustment to the ball. Interesting pass, I would say. That's all I'll say about that. But Romeo Doubs continues to adjust to the ball midair better than any other Packers receiver in a while. Like, he was huge with that last year.
Yeah, we're going to nitpick because we're Packer fans, but interesting coverage on that play, too.
Yeah. Yeah, who was it?
I think Bullard.
20. Yeah, that's Bullard. Packers defensive coordinator sounds like they want to get all 3 safeties on the field at the same time as well, which is interesting.
I don't hate that.
Not necessarily I don't hate it, except for I don't want to do it against the Bears or the Lions or the Vikings or the Eagles, who we also play,
or the
anybody
Ravens
who runs the football. Yeah, the Ravens. Yeah. Turpin getting behind the defense. That'll be common. Phil Maffa, again, we talked about him earlier this week. Not much to see there, but Schottenheimer really likes him as well. They've been hyping up both rookies quite a bit. It almost seems like Miles Sanders is the man left out right now.
Yeah.
Love that offensive line. Love that offense. So definitely watch that backfield. Back to Jonathan Mingo. People forget Jonathan Mingo's there. And could be the 4th, could be the 5th wide receiver. Not bad for a 4th or 5th wide receiver. What else do we got? Brock Purdy making plays. Keon Coleman, another strong day. It does sound like Keon Coleman made some strides this offseason. Same with Kincaid. So that's definitely needed for Buffalo to take a step up. But Coleman, I mean, you can get him absolutely dirt cheap right now. And I think he's worth a random dart throw later on in drafts. I don't hate it.
Agreed.
They need somebody. They especially need a receiver in the red zone. And Keon Coleman was drafted specifically for that. So we'll see.
Dalton Kincaid has turned out not to be that.
I don't think so. He is one of the most hyped up tight ends from the fantasy community this offseason. And he has looked pretty good in camp, I guess. I don't think that means anything to me. I'm more willing to fade him than take him at his current value.
Agreed.
I think.
Yeah.
But a lot of people love him. A lot of people chalk up his shitty play last year to injuries, and I don't necessarily agree. But we'll see. Little note on Kellen Moore here, who liked Mason Tipton. Obviously, they need a receiver to step up. But another big thing in a Saints camp today was Shug has been terrible. He's been really, really bad to the point where Spencer Rattler is now taking the quarterback snaps. He was the quarterback 1 today. Shug not only is missing throws, he is throwing checkdowns in 7-on-7, and he is scrambling instead of throwing the checkdowns at times, which is the worst thing you can do in training camp. Like, it doesn't help the defense. It doesn't help the offense.
Doesn't help you.
Doesn't help you. It's not good. It's not good for Shug right now. So, yeah, I mean, full avoid pretty much for any Saints pass catcher or thrower of the football from me at the moment. Because
Even
like,
Alvin Kamara?
that's why I said pass catcher. I mean, I guess he's a pass catcher. I'm fine with Kamara still.
Yeah.
And I don't mind Devin Neal as a speculative add out of the backfield as well. But at their current value, obviously, I know you don't have anything ahead of you that says the ADP and stuff, but like, who is the one Saints wide receiver or tight end you would draft at their current value? Like, who would you most want to draft, I guess? For me,
I mean, you don't.
I'm full off Chris Olave.
Yeah. Agreed.
Full off Chris Olave. Rashid Shaheed, I like as a player. I don't trust the quarterbacks to throw it deep. So I'm kind of off of him. I think I like Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, I don't hate. I mean,
Like, I don't.
at the value for sure. I don't like Brandon. Talking about value, yeah.
Like, I don't. It would not surprise me if Brandon Cooks ends the season with 750 yards and 6 touchdowns, which isn't. It's not great.
Yeah.
But I think he's free in drafts. And then Juwan Johnson was hurt, but he came back in pads today. So it sounds like he's fine. He just got paid like $10 million per year this offseason. Inexperienced quarterbacks, we talk about it. They love tight ends all the time. So, and I know you're a big Juwan Johnson guy. I don't hate him. It's just the tight end position all of a sudden has gone from like a wasteland to extremely deep. I feel like there's 20 guys who are all one tier. It's very interesting. Not much else. People are really liking Trey Tucker, saying he could become the wide receiver 2 in Vegas. I am a little skeptical of that, but I do like him as a player. Talk about how fast he is. He's certainly fast. I don't really think Trey Tucker is worth a wide receiver 2 position on the Raiders because I know they're going to want to run the football and he's not going to be a blocker. So that's why I think Jack Beck's going to earn that role. But we shall see. Otherwise, I don't have much else. Again, rough day for Tyler Shug. Here, how's this for a tweet? Rough day for Tyler Shug. Brandon Staley was throwing the kitchen sink at him. So just Brandon Staley outsmarted him. Not great. Matthew Golden on the slant. Okay. I don't need to see on air plays, to be honest. Malik Neighbors had I think a shoulder thing, but he came back and is playing, so good to go there.
He's so good at football.
Yes. If there's one, if you had to put your money on one wide receiver knocking off Jamar Chase as the wide receiver 1 this year, I think it's him over Justin Jefferson. Honestly.
Yeah.
He's so good. I think I'm right there with you.
I hope it doesn't lag because I want to get coming out of the draft last year, right? Everyone was surely in on Marvin Harrison being wide receiver 1. Going to be like the next greatest thing to ever exist in the NFL. And Malik Neighbors just has had a better last season in college and had a better year last year than him. And Malik Neighbors does not get talked about like Marvin Harrison gets talked about.
No, not at all. Marvin Harrison Jr. makes a big leaping catch down the sideline, and that's been shown more than any Malik Neighbors play this offseason. Malik Neighbors is ridiculous. He's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's insane. He is as locked in of a wide receiver 1 as anybody. Like, he has less risk than Justin Jefferson. I'll even say that. I can see Justin Jefferson having more bad weeks than Malik Neighbors. Health aside. Let's get out of here. Let's go enjoy some football. Again, draft kit comes out tomorrow, so definitely scan the QR code, screenshot this, do whatever you got to do.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Go to Fantasy Flurry on Twitter. I will link this out, or you can go to buymeacoffee.com/Zach Bruner, ZachBruner, And you can get the draft kit for $5. You can become a member and get it for free, or you can buy the draft kit for $10 starting tomorrow. Updates throughout the entire summer. Lots of content coming here on Flurry Sports and Fantasy Football by Committee.